A white influencer by the name of Oli London has just been accused of cultural appropriation after getting several surgeries to look Korean. The influencer is claiming that they identify as Korean and went through with the surgeries to appear more like their favorite member of BTS. That's a hardcore fan. I'm going to get into all the details in just a moment, but first, if you can do us a big favor and please tap that like button, we'd really appreciate it. And with that out of the way, let's begin. Oli London, who hails from the UK, has reportedly had more than 15 cosmetic surgeries dating back to 2013, all with the intention of attempting to look Korean. In a video posted to their YouTube channel, London mentioned that they identify as non-binary and Korean, and even asked their audience to use the pronouns they, them, Korean, and Jimin. Later announcing in a tweet, "It feels so good to finally come out as Korean non-binary person after being trapped in the wrong body and wrong culture my whole life. I cannot wait to share the new me with the world next week. Thank you to all of you guys for your unconditional support." Later adding, "I fully identify as Korean after undergoing my final transitional surgeries." Regardless of how happy they feel about this race transition though, London has been getting massive amounts of backlash and has been accused of disrespecting Korean culture, as well as invalidating those who identify with non-binary pronouns. One person who quote tweeted what Oli said added that they may fetishize Koreans but that they'll never be a Korean. This was tacked on to a tweet that the influencer put out showing the Korean flag with the pride rainbow intertwined. In the tweet that this person was commenting on, London said, "This is my new official flag for being a non-binary person who identifies as Korean. Thank you for the overwhelming support. It was so hard for me to come out as them, they, Korean." London previously received criticism for undergoing plastic surgeries to just look Korean, specifically like their idol Jimin. The Daily Mail reported that since 2013, London has undergone skin whitening treatments, 5 rhinoplasties, a chin reduction and a cheekbone reduction, a liposuction, and a surgery to alter their eye shape. The Daily Dot also received a response from Oli London's manager, who simply identified himself as Scott. Scott said in an email to the news site, "Regarding the flag that Oli posted, it is the official LGBT flag of South Korea and therefore the official representation of those who identify as LGBT from Korea. Therefore, people's criticism that Oli created the flag and dishonored Korea are false, incorrect, and hurtful." The worst part is that Oli is actually trying to label people as homophobic for pointing out that you can't transition to become a different race. Many social media users went on to criticize Oli's use of pronouns, saying that using them to express a transracial identity is offensive. London's manager went on to say in that email, "Besides from identifying as gender fluid and non-binary for the past several years, Oli has also felt strongly attached to Korea and the Korean culture and feels much more connected to this than his own culture. He hopes that people will accept and love him for who he is without judgment." I mean, their own manager is misgendering them in that email there, so I really can't take what is happening here seriously. This seems like some strange social experiment specifically designed to invalidate people who identify with neo-pronouns, which typically just indicate gender neutrality. And if you want further proof of this, just look at this tweet where Oli calls upon conservative pundits to assist. Oli tweeted, "Please defend me from the woke Twitter mob at Tucker Carlson, at Sean Hannity, at Piers Morgan." Now, of course, these people are going to jump on this story at some point to use it in a way to continually attack the left, but what Oli doesn't realize is that identifying as Korean isn't a sexuality, it's a nationality, and unless we see some DNA results from Ancestry.com, I don't think London is going to change anyone's mind. But we would love to hear what you think about this story though, so make sure you drop us a comment down below. And while you do that, I'm going to check out some of your comments from the video titled, "Billie Eilish apologizes after using racial slur." Nicholas Salim says, "I'm Asian, but I don't really find this offensive, but I don't know about the other Asians and their opinion, and I think that this is a good apology." I think it was a good apology as well, and I'm not, obviously I'm not Asian, nor do I identify as Asian, so I cannot give my take on that either. Samantha S says, "I'm not saying the new generation is sensitive, but hey, to each their own, am I right?" Cats Over Brad says, "Hey Johnny, mind showing your ring up close? I'm interested to see what it looks like. Thanks in advance." I don't know if we can get it. Is that close enough? See, we lose light on it, but it's a little wolf head, because, you know, wolves are cool. Kiyoshi says, "People are going to be quick to forgive her." I mean, probably. Crazy Caitlin says, "May not read my comment, but can you guys get an intro so it doesn't just start with the host yelling at me?" Caitlin, I'm sorry for yelling at you. My apologies. I'm just really excited when the video starts. But we'll see what we can do, okay? That's the best that I can do, really. Either way, guys, that has been today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I've been your host, Johnny Rogers, and until next time, stay classy, YouTube, or at least try.